Imagine being a young prodigy with all the talent in the world at your fingertips, destined to dominate the NBA. At 22 years old, you're already the youngest MVP in history, the face of an iconic franchise, and the hope of an entire city. That was Derrick Rose, a player who seemed to be molded for greatness. But what happens when destiny decides to test the limits of such pure talent? What might have become of Rose's career if not for the devastating injuries that sidelined him from his prime? In this video, we'll explore D-Rose's meteoric rise, the devastating impact he had on the game, and how the cruel reality of injuries changed everything. Derrick Rose was selected first overall in the 2008 NBA draft by the Chicago Bulls, returning to his hometown to don the franchise's iconic jersey. From the start, he brought new energy to a team that had been searching for a leader since the Michael Jordan era. At just 20 years old, Rose entered the NBA with high expectations, but he quickly proved himself up to the challenge. In his rookie season, Rose not only adapted to the league, but he excelled in spectacular fashion. Rose was relentless in his attack to the rim, using his quickness and explosiveness to blow past veteran defenders as if they were minor obstacles. His ability to create plays for himself and his teammates made him the true engine of the Bulls. Rose's impact was immediate and profound. He revitalized the Bulls, leading them to the playoffs for the first time in 3 years, and won the Rookie of the Year award in undisputed fashion. His spectacular playoff performance, especially against the Boston Celtics, made it clear that he was not just a prospect, but a transcendent talent who would change the course of the franchise. Derrick Rose brought hope to Chicago, and his first year in the NBA was just the beginning of a career that, at the time, seemed destined for greatness. In his rookie NBA season in 2008 to 2009, Derrick Rose quickly showed the world that he was a rising star. Averaging 16.8 points, 6.3 assists, and 3.9 rebounds per game, he not only established himself as one of the league's top point guards, but was also named Rookie of the Year, setting him apart from his peers. Rose brought a new energy to the Chicago Bulls, serving as the centerpiece of a team that had struggled since the Michael Jordan era. In the playoffs, he took his game to another level, especially in a thrilling first-round series against the Boston Celtics, one of the most memorable in NBA history. Rose put on some standout performances, including a 36-point performance in Game 1, tying Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record for most points in a playoff debut. His ability to thrive in high-pressure moments further cemented his reputation as one of the league's future stars. Derrick Rose possessed incredible skills that made him a force to be reckoned with in the NBA during his prime. His style of play was marked by a rare combination of explosive speed, agility, and body control that left defenders stumped. Rose had an impressive ability to penetrate opposing defenses, using his quick dribbling and change of direction to create space for himself, either to finish at the basket or to find an open teammate. His mid-range jump shot was reliable, and he could finish around the rim with a variety of acrobatic moves and smooth touches, often defying the laws of physics. What truly separated Rose from the pack was his ability to elevate his game in the most critical moments. He had a take-over-the-game mentality that made him seem unstoppable, especially in transition, where his pace and explosiveness were devastating. Additionally, his court vision and passing ability allowed him to be an exceptional facilitator, creating opportunities for his teammates with precise and intelligent assists. Derrick Rose played with a ferocious intensity, which made him a natural leader on the court and one of the most exciting players to watch during his prime. In the 2009-10 season, Derrick Rose began to solidify his position as one of the NBA's breakout stars. In just his second season, he continued to evolve his game, showing increased confidence and taking on more responsibility as the leader of the Chicago Bulls. Rose improved his averages in nearly every statistical category, demonstrating significant growth. During that season, Rose averaged 20.8 points, 6.0 assists, and 3.8 rebounds per game, becoming the first Bulls player to reach the 20-point mark since Michael Jordan. He continued to improve his shooting, becoming a more consistent threat from mid-range, which made it even harder for defenders who already had to deal with his speed and driving ability. In the playoffs, Rose led the Bulls to a tough series against LeBron James' Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. Although Chicago was eliminated, Rose put on a remarkable performance, showing that he was ready to face the best in the league. His ability to elevate his game in big situations, his fearlessness in attacking the basket against well-structured defenses, and his ability to create for his teammates showed that he was quickly becoming one of the league's premier point guards. The 2009-10 season was a harbinger of things to come, as Rose demonstrated that he was not just a talented youngster, but a player destined to be a superstar and the face of the Bulls franchise. The 2010-11 season was the pinnacle of Derrick Rose's career, as he cemented his status as a superstar in the NBA. He entered the season with renewed determination after 2 years of acclimating to the league. The Chicago Bulls had added key players to their roster, such as Carlos Boozer, and under the leadership of head coach Tom Thibodeau, the team was poised to make a serious playoff run. Rose demonstrated from the start that he was on a mission. He became the focal point of the Bulls' offense, carrying the team night after night with his unique combination of speed, explosiveness, and finishing ability. With each game, he looked more confident, more assertive, and more willing to take responsibility in the crunch. Rose was nearly unstoppable on offense, whizzing past defenders with quick dribbles, finishing with acrobatic layups and powerful dunks. His impact wasn't just in numbers. Rose was the heart and soul of the Bulls, elevating his teammates and bringing an infectious energy to the team. Under his leadership, the Bulls finished the regular season with the best record in the league, 62-20, a remarkable feat considering the franchise hadn't achieved that kind of success since the Michael Jordan era. Rose's performances were so impressive that he was named regular season MVP, becoming the youngest player to receive that award in NBA history at age 22. This achievement highlighted not only his individual talent, but also his ability to influence the game in ways few players could. The MVP award was a recognition of immediate impact Rose had on the league and cemented his place as one of basketball's brightest rising stars. In the 2011 playoffs, Derrick Rose continued his impressive run, leading the Chicago Bulls to a run that reflected his MVP status and the profound impact he had on the league. Rose's playoff performance was crucial to the Bulls' success and demonstrated his ability to elevate his game in decisive moments. In the first round, the Bulls faced the Indiana Pacers. Rose immediately showed why he was the MVP, leading the team with spectacular performances. He was the Bulls' offensive engine, constantly attacking the Pacers' defense with his devastating combination of speed, agility, and finishing around the rim. In a physical and close series, Rose averaged 27.6 points, 6.2 assists, and 4.6 rebounds per game. He had a standout performance in Game 1, where he scored 39 points to lead the Bulls to a dramatic victory. In the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Bulls faced the Atlanta Hawks. Rose continued to shine, showing his ability to command the game in all aspects. He recorded a historic performance in Game 3, scoring 44 points and dishing out 7 assists as he guided the Bulls to a crucial road victory. The series was won by the Bulls 4-2, and Rose finished with averages of 29.8 points, 9.2 assists, and 4.3 rebounds per game. Rose's biggest test came in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Miami Heat, which featured the trio of superstars LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. This clash was seen as the biggest test of his career so far. In Game 1, Rose led the Bulls to a dominant 103-82 victory with a solid 28-point, 6-assist performance. However, the rest of the series was a close battle. The Miami Heat adjusted their defense, focusing on limiting Rose's actions, who began to face constant double markings. Despite their heroic effort, the Bulls ended up losing the series 4-1. Rose averaged 23.4 points, 6.6 assists, and 2.2 rebounds per game in the series, but the Heat's defensive adjustments and lack of consistent support from his teammates were crucial factors in the Bulls' defeat. Even with the elimination, Derrick Rose's performance in the 2011 playoffs was a testament to his ability to lead and compete at the highest level. He left it all on the court, and his performance was a reminder of how brilliant his career could have been, if not for the injuries that began to affect him soon after that season. The playoff run further solidified his status as one of the most talented and electrifying stars the NBA has ever seen. The 2011-12 season was marked by the most significant injury of Derrick Rose's career, and had a profound impact on both him and the Chicago Bulls. After a previous season, 2010-11, in which Rose became the youngest MVP in NBA history, expectations for the following season were extremely high. Rose was predicted to lead the Bulls in another attempt to win the championship, and everyone was eager to see if he could maintain the impressive level of performance he demonstrated. However, the start of the 2011-12 season brought a major setback. In a game against the Philadelphia 76ers in April 2012 during the playoffs, Derrick Rose suffered a devastating left knee injury. The injury was a torn anterior cruciate ligament, ACL, which required surgery to repair. This was one of the most serious injuries a basketball player can suffer, with a long and challenging recovery time. The injury was a hard blow not only for Rose, but for the entire Chicago Bulls team. Rose was the team's leader and one of the league's most important players, and his absence was deeply felt in the playoffs. The Bulls were eliminated by the 76ers in the first round, and the team lost its star player just when they needed his presence more than ever. The news of Rose's injury had a significant negative impact on the team's morale and hopes of immediate success. The player, who had shown exceptional performance throughout the regular season, averaging 21.8 points, 7.9 assists, and 3.4 rebounds per game, was out of the game and facing a long rehabilitation process. Surgery to repair the ACL was performed, and the recovery period was one of the most challenging of Rose's career. He was forced to undergo an intensive rehabilitation process to regain strength and mobility in his knee, which caused him to miss the entire 2012-13 season. Rose's absence was a blow to the Bulls and fans, who eagerly awaited the return of the player who had revitalized a franchise. Derrick Rose's knee injury not only halted his promising career, but also raised questions about how he would return to his previous level of performance. The impact of this injury was felt on multiple fronts, and Rose's recovery became one of the biggest topics of discussion in the NBA as everyone closely followed his journey back to the court. In the 2013-14 season, Derrick Rose made his long-awaited return to the court after an absence of almost 18 months due to his knee injury. After extensive rehabilitation, Rose was finally ready to resume his role as the Chicago Bulls' main player. Rose's return was highly anticipated, and his first season back has seen both flashes of brilliance and challenges. The season began with great anticipation and excitement, but the recovery process and readjustment to the pace and intensity of the professional game took some time. Rose had a moderate regular season considering the magnitude of his injury and timeout. He played 51 games and averaged 15.9 points, 4.3 assists, and 3.2 rebounds per game. His numbers were a drop from his pre-injury performance, reflecting both the physical adjustment and the need to readjust to the NBA style of play. Unfortunately, Rose's return was marked by new challenges. In late November 2013, he suffered a new injury to his right knee, a torn meniscus, which required surgery and sidelined him again. The meniscus injury was a major blow to both Rose and the Bulls, who had invested heavily in his recovery and return. Derrick Rose's return in the 2013-14 season was a significant milestone in his career, highlighting both the complexity of recovering from serious injuries and the determination and talent of one of the NBA's greatest players. Derrick Rose made a significant effort in the 2014-15 season to return to his elite level of play after the injuries that plagued his previous season. Although the season was a test of his recovery and form, Rose managed to excel and show signs of recovery despite facing new challenges. Rose played 51 games in the regular season, a similar amount to the previous season. He averaged 17.7 points, 5.0 assists, and 3.2 rebounds per game. These numbers represented a slight improvement over the 2013-14 season, but were still not at the level of his previous MVP years. The main issue for Rose and the Bulls was the ongoing injury crisis and the impact it had on his consistency and performance. Throughout the season, Rose suffered from persistent pain and minor injuries, which affected his ability to consistently play at his best. Despite his struggles to regain full fitness, he remained one of the team's key players and a key player for the team. The Chicago Bulls had a competitive season, finishing with a record of 50 wins and 32 losses, which qualified them for the playoffs. However, the team struggled in the postseason. In the first round of the playoffs, they faced the Milwaukee Bucks and managed to advance to the second round after a close series, winning 4-2. In the second round, the Bulls faced the Cleveland Cavaliers in a very close series. The series was marked by great performances, such as this game winner by Derrick Rose.
Rose trying to get open, fires away! Bang! It's over! The Bulls win at the buzzer! It still is a madhouse on Madison as Derrick Rose nails the three.
But also by challenges, and the Cavaliers ended up winning 4-2, eliminating the Bulls from the competition. The 2015-16 season was a significant period in Derrick Rose's career, both for his performance on the court and the challenges he faced off it. Rose entered the season with high expectations that he would finally be able to regain his pre-injury form. During the regular season, he played 66 games, which was an increase from previous seasons. Rose averaged 16.4 points, 4.7 assists, and 3.4 rebounds per game. While these numbers were slightly below his pre-MVP averages, they showed that he was approaching the level of performance he had demonstrated prior to his injuries. One of the most notable events of this season was the persistence of his injuries. Rose struggled with his knee on and off, and was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in his right knee, which required surgery. This problem presented an additional challenge for Rose, who had already struggled to maintain his form after previous injuries. During the playoffs, the Chicago Bulls faced the Boston Celtics in the first round. The series was intense and close, but the Bulls were eliminated by the Celtics in a 4-2 series. Despite Rose's efforts, he was unable to carry the team beyond the first round of the playoffs. The trade of Derrick Rose was a turning point in his career, marking a new phase after years of struggles with injuries. In June 2016, Rose was traded to the New York Knicks, ending his long tenure with the Chicago Bulls. This trade represented an attempt to revitalize his career in a new environment, but unfortunately, the transition was not easy. With the Knicks, Rose had a reasonable season, but was unable to recapture the level of performance he had shown in his prime. Averaging 16.4 points, 4.7 assists, and 3.8 rebounds per game, he continued to struggle with injury problems and was unable to make a significant difference in the team's performance. After one season with the Knicks, Rose was traded again, this time to the Cleveland Cavaliers, where his contributions were limited, and he was often used as a role player. After his stint with the Cavaliers, Rose joined the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2018. It was with this team that one of the most exciting moments of his post-injury career occurred. On October 31st, 2018, in a game against the Utah Jazz, Rose scored one of the highest scoring games of his career, scoring 50 points.
Third quarter has Rose. Derrick Rose out of the corner, and it's
a lot of dribbling.
The stop, the go. Rose gets inside, puts up a tough shot, and he eats. The rebound. Exum has it blocked in the corner.
And everybody just streams out on the floor to...
This performance not only highlighted the talent that still existed within Rose, but it was also a moment of personal celebration, representing a kind of redemption and recognition of his continued efforts. Despite the difficulties and his decline into a secondary role on subsequent teams, this 50-point game with the Timberwolves was a powerful reminder of Derrick Rose's potential and passion for the game. He managed, in an emotional moment, to show the world that even after so much adversity, he was still an extraordinary player. However, his career never returned to the same level of splendor that it had reached during his MVP peak, and he came to be seen more as a role player than the shining star he was before the injuries. Derrick Rose is without a doubt one of the greatest talents the NBA has ever seen. His meteoric rise, marked by winning the youngest MVP in history, demonstrated a player with impressive skills and an immediate impact on the league. His bursts of speed, offensive skills, and game vision redefined the role of the point guard in the NBA. Even in the face of adversity, such as serious knee injuries, Rose never stopped fighting. His ability to overcome challenges and continue contributing to the game, including an emotional comeback with the Minnesota Timberwolves where he scored 50 points in a single game, highlighted his resilience and passion for basketball. And if Derrick Rose hadn't suffered serious knee injuries, where would he be today in the Hall of Greatest in history? It's my friends. Unfortunately, it's a question that we will never be able to know the answer to. And do you know what the other biggest what if in history would be? If you don't subscribe to the channel and miss the next content that will come, which is very top. And if you like the Prime series here on the channel, leave a like so I can continue bringing it more frequently, and comment below which player Prime you want me to bring next.